Very nice. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Solstice Yoga edition. Welcome to winter. And welcome to the time where we start bringing our practices inward and conserving our energy with the idea that this is the time of year where we're really going to sort of build our resources so that when we all rejoin reality back in spring, whatever that reality may be, we feel rejuvenated by our winter experience and we feel refreshed. So the idea being that winter is a time for quietude, stillness, meditation, digesting the previous year's events, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to start off with some standing warm-ups, and then we're just going to take it down to the ground for the rest of practice. There is going to be some abdominal exercises, so take everything at your own pace. But the main thing for the practice today, and we're going to try to follow this too, because I know we can get very energetic at times, is slow, intentional, purposeful movement. Very smooth, deep, relaxing movement. So if you can keep that in your mind as you move through these practices, all the better. So feel free to stand up when you're ready. Oh my God, we have a black cat sitting amongst bones. And we're just gonna shake it off a bit before we take it down, because shaking is another wonderful movement and practice to help you with assimilation. I know I'm hiding in the dark here, but I won't be here for too much longer before we get some light further down. So make that shaking whatever you want it to be. It could be a wide-legged shake where you're just kind of sort of, I hate this word for this, but you're sloughing everything off of you. You're just kind of letting it all kind of shake off of you as if you're shaking off water or even mud from your previous year since the last solstice. Or if you're feeling like you have way too much extra energy and you're one of these rare people where after the sun set on a day like today, you're just feeling all up in your head, feel free to hop a little bit. Actually, no, the hopping, yeah.
The hopping is
for if you don't have enough energy.
If you need more energy.
I think for all of us, just the downward.
And if you have too much energy, you do this.
Yeah, we want to really focus on the down qualities, because the idea is right now we're imitating the action of trees, not the shaking. Trees aren't so good at that. But the idea of energy condensing inwards and then downwards, that's where we're going today. So as we shake, we can bring it to our twisting, just because it is so wonderful. We leave this thing to that twist.
Sure.
Twisting is also so good for assimilation, digestion, just bringing everything down.
So we're going to slowly start to let the shaking subside and just get into the twisting. You can let the arms just kind of flop and flap. Ooh, I'm like hitting the wall behind me. And then if you want to go a little faster, you can. Maybe the arms will start to travel up the body, up towards the shoulders, and it'll whack your neighbor. And when you get to about chest height, let's take the arms out, palms flat, pull the elbows back. So we're just going like this. And we're going to do this thing where we exhale, we inhale as we move to the right, exhale with a shh as you go to the left. So shh, 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 shh. Continuing that breathing, let's turn the forearms up, goalpost arms. Continuing that breathing. Let's take the arms out and down like at about waist height. Just wringing the last of it out. And then we're just going to slowly come back to center. You can let
and let's shake it off again.
Let the arms just flop and then shake it. Feel free to shake it off, waggle it out. If you gotta shake your legs out, go for that. Whatever, shake your head.
2 more standing things. I'd like to do hip rolls and chopping wood. You want to show hip rolls?
Sure, so you can step your feet out to about mat's width distance or so, and we're just gonna roll the hips.
And honestly, if you're not working with a mat today, that's totally fine. This is possibly the least mat dependent practice we're going to teach all year. So feet are about 2-3 feet apart from each other.
Just making big O's with the hips.
Big O's.
Big O's.
O's.
O's, hon. And then feel free to switch the direction that you are making your O's. Yeah, hon. Sorry. She started it.
Never. This is lovely. I could do this all day. Especially if you found yourself walking at any point today. These hip rolls are really quite nice. And then keeping our feet where they are, toes pointing in the same direction. So the edges of my feet are parallel. I'm going to interlace the fingers of both hands.
Wow. No, totally whack that.
I'm going to exhale, folding gently forward. And I'll show this actually from the side. Brian, Brian's showing from the side.
I got to move because I'm going to hit this.
Yeah, don't whack the, the infrastructure. So I'm going to inhale my arms up high above my head. I'm actually bringing my hips forward a little bit here and then exhaling, folding forward. Ha. And again, take this at your own pace, inhaling up, exhaling down. And just let the body be loose here, as if your spine is just kind of moving with momentum, really more than muscular movement, because we're just loosening up the spine a little bit as we do this. Next time you come forward, just stay forward for a second. You can place hands down on the ground in front of you. Feet are still parallel in this not very, very wide stance. And we'll just place the left hand down on the mat. Inhale, the right one up just to reach for a second. If you want to put a block under the left hand, that's fine too. And then we'll exhale the right hand down to where the left is. Inhaling the left up. Just a little stretch. Exhaling. Hands come back down, and we'll just inhale, rolling your way up to standing. Now let's turn the feet out wide, and now begins ab exercises. So I'm going to start off with just a little bit of squatting with my arms down like this. So nothing happening with the arms here. It's really just from the hips down. And to show you from the side, as I squat, my knees, I know it's hard to tell, but my knees are coming out over my feet here. So they aren't coming in like this. I'm not squatting like that. No sloopy squats. We want the squats to be just straight down like this. So you could time it with your breathing, exhaling down, inhaling up. We'll do just a few more of these. Try to make sure that your knees don't come out past your ankles as you come down. You're probably starting to feel this a little bit, which is great. And then we'll come back up. Now we take it down to the ground. And Brian's gonna start us off with some abdominal exercises. And when we get through those, that's when we get into the chill stuff.
All right, so let's just come all the way. Okay, I'm gonna teach this. Okay. I'm gonna kick this cat. Let me go this way.
I'll put the cat away.
No, I'll move this way.
Okay, I'll put the cat away if you want.
Got a cat right here. You probably can't see it. It's black. So we're gonna lay on our backs. And the first thing we're gonna do is
It's like the scissor ones, right?
Yeah, so there's a couple. You can put your hands here, or if you want a low back support, you can even put the hands sort of together with like the thumbs and the touching, like
so palm face down, right under your
kind of like arms you would put if you were going to do fish. So they're underneath you. This gives you a little extra support in the low back. You can also put the hands, your head into your hands, make a little basket with the hands. But just really let that head relax into the hands. So no tension in the neck.
And if you are trying to take this real gentle and slow, I do recommend hands under the glutes.
And then, so we're going to bring the feet just like a couple of inches off the ground. And then we're just going to inhale, open them, exhale, close them, like making these scissors. Inhale, open, Exhale, closing, floating the legs inches off the ground.
And again, take this slow. It's not about how many of these you do, but just how purposeful you do them.
And when you're ready, we'll take little breaks between each one of these because it's going to get kind of intense. So feel free to just bring the knees into the chest. And you can do a little bit of rocking here, rolling side to side if you like. And then we'll just come right back. We'll take short breaks between each one so we don't lose too much momentum. So now we're going to do alternating leg lifts. So inhaling one leg up, exhaling it down, inhaling the other leg up, exhaling it down. The slower you go, the more intense it gets. And if you want more challenge after a few alternating leg lifts, zip both of the legs together and inhale, both legs come up, exhale, both legs come down. And once again, hands under the glutes is a very wonderful way to practice this if you're concerned about aggravating your low back. Now we're going to make a little challenge here. We're going to start with our feet together at the bottom and inhale, take them apart as you go up like a V. This is the hardest one, so take your time with this. You might find you have a wall nearby to rest on for a second as you come up. Then we're going to inhale both legs up, bring them together. And then we're just going to come up off of the, just like an inch or so off of the head and the upper back. And just reach down side to side. So reaching down to the right, reaching down to the left, just going back and forth. If this gets to be too intense with the legs up, you can bring the feet to the mat, about hips width distance, let the knees knock in at each other. And you can do this way as well. Feel free to time your breathing. So maybe inhaling to one side, exhaling to the other. And again, just take your time. And then we're going to leave our legs up where they are, unless you have them down. Feel free to keep them down. I'm going to show an alternate way to do this with the legs down. We're going to interlace the fingers, put the two pointer fingers pointing out like this, which is called Vajra Mudra. And we're going to inhale, and again, just coming off of the head and the upper back, reaching towards the feet as we inhale, exhale, coming down. Try to make this action happen from the upper abdominal muscles here. So we're not craning our neck here, but we try to keep the whole torso, head, neck in the same line. So all the action is happening right here in the upper abdominal muscles. If you're doing this, if it's too much with your legs up, this time you put the feet together, let the knees go wide, and you do it this way. Oh, did you show the knees not being long for the last one? Mm-hmm. I forgot. And if you want a little extra challenge for the next one, you can inhale coming up, exhale staying up, inhale again, and then exhale slowly lower down. No matter where you are, let's take the knees. Let's do little circles with the knees. Now. Yeah, this time bring the knees again into the chest, and this time we'll make little circles. You put your hands on the knees and take them in little circles in one direction, and then take them again and take them in the other direction. What do we have next? Bicycling? Yes. Let me jump in for a minute and then you just fill in if there's something I'm forgetting. You got it. Go for it. So I'm going to jump in with a bit of bicycling now before we start kind of opening the psoas and flipping ourselves around to do something on the belly. So at this point, I've got my knees right above my hips. And my ankles are coming straight out from my knees, so my shins are parallel to the ground. From here, I'm just gonna bicycle. So laying on my back, I'm bicycling. If it's something where you wanna engage the upper abdomen, you can hold behind the head, gently letting the head rest on the hands, but really using that sort of upper abdominal area to keep you up. So the hands and neck and everything are just kind of relaxed here.
When you're ready, let's switch direction, backpedaling for a little bit. Feels a little bit strange to be kicking out like this, but also quite good for strengthening the obliques.
Bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle.
I want to ride my bike.
Sorry. Had to go there, people.
When you're ready, let's draw the knees back into the chest now and just rock side to side for just a second. We're going to translate this into another side to side rocking, bringing the back straight down on the ground. Let's bring the soles of the feet on the ground and take the arms out into a T if possible. And then just let the knees rock gently side to side while the hips are mostly on the ground here. One hip might be coming up as you go to one side, the other comes up as you go to the other, but pretty gentle. A nice release for the low back. And then we're going to turn this back into another abdominal exercise, again to be taken at your own pace. This time we'll bring the legs back up to that shape that we had them in right before the bicycling, 2 right angles. So my knees are right above my hips. My ankles come straight out from my knees, so my shins are parallel to the ground. And then I'm just going to do the same thing, letting the hips rock side to side. So this is a little bit tougher. You're feeling your obliques engaging here. And take your time with these twists. If you need a few breaths per twist, that's fine. It's not a hurry. And if you find that this is something that is so unbelievably easy for you and you have lots of space around you, you want to experiment with something even more challenging, feel free to straighten the legs completely. Let them come down to one side. Straighten them.
I don't even have wall clearance to do that.
Yes, I don't even have wall clearance for that. But you might have wall clearance for that. This is actually an army calisthenic. It's not even a yoga move per se. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to center, drawing the knees back in. This time, let's hold our hands behind the knees. And if your back feels appropriately padded, feel free to rock up and down a little bit on your spine. If this is really hard on your spine, you can do it on one side of the spine and then on the other side of the spine. So kind of rocking side to side. And then we'll come right back down onto our backs and set up for bridge posture. So Brian can really show this nicely from the angle that he's at. You want to show us the bridges? We don't have to do the wheels if you don't want.
So have your feet about hips width distance apart, and you want your knees over your ankles. A lot of people say if you can touch the backs of your feet, but some people, like Anne specifically, she says if she does that, she ends up like this, and this is not how you want to be. You want to be more like this. So depending on your body shape, ankles under knees, you're going to inhale, hips off the earth.
So now we're stretching out the front of our abdominal muscles. Just inhaling the hips nice and high, exhaling the hips down. Inhaling the hips high, exhaling the hips down. And just continuing with that movement at your pace. And if this is comfortable for you and you want to stay here, that's totally fine. I'm going to change it up. I thought I wasn't going to show this one, but Brian will show it so well from his angle that we must do it. So you can either stick with this, or if you have a block around, you can actually place it under your hips and let the hips rest on the block. If you want to just have a restorative bridge posture, you can keep doing the inhaling the bridge up, exhaling bridge down. Or if you want to take it into wheel, we'll bend one elbow and then the other, placing the palms face down underneath the shoulders, fingers pointing down. I'm going to inhale up onto my head and then finish my inhale all the way up back in the wheel. Exhale, bend my elbows. Inhale, straighten my elbows. Exhale, bend my elbows. As I said before, be very gentle with yourself here. Take it slow. And if you want to stay in bridge at this point, that's totally fine too. When you're ready to come out, come down to the crown of the head, then tuck the chin and find yourself back on your back. Again, we'll take the arms out into a T and just gently let the knees rock side to side. Until you find your knees rocking all the way over to one side, we'll push ourselves towards seated for just a second, only to transition onto our bellies now. So coming down onto your belly. Brian's going to show us some core exercises for the back of the core, because the front of the core is important to strengthen, but so is the back.
So first thing let's do is take our arms out in front of us. You can have your legs out behind. You can have them sort of open a little bit, like towards the corners of the mat.
So I've got a little bit of an X shape here.
A little bit of an X shape. We're going to inhale, right arm up and left leg up. And then exhale, slowly lower, slowly exhale, slowly inhale, left arm up, right leg up. Exhale, slowly lower. So we're just going to go back and forth doing that. Inhaling the opposite arm and leg up. Exhaling them down, and then the other opposite arm and leg. And then we'll come down to something I like to call it swimming, and it sort of looks like this. You sort of take the hands. Well, you can't see my hands, but they're up off the ground. And you can clap them in front of you, and then maybe you can swim, clap them behind you. Inhaling.
So you'll
exhaling.
see as we do this, we're holding a low cobra, but not supporting ourselves. So if you need to be just above the ground like this with just your chin up, that's fine. Or if you feel like you can come up, oh, hello. If you feel like you can come up higher up, that's okay too.
And when you're ready, just come down. You can put your hands, cross your hands. You can just relax for a second.
Let's kind of take our hips side to side here.
Yeah, move the hips side to side.
Most yogic cat here, guarding the bones.
All right, what's the
next? We come up to Sphinx. So pretty
Sphinx.
simple.
Yes.
We only have a few more of these abdominal exercises left, and they're pretty gentle. You guys are out of the woods. So with Sphinx, my elbows are right below my shoulders, and I'm not falling into my shoulders like this, but I'm actually opening up my heart, lowering my shoulders down my back. And what I'm going to do is engage a bandha here, or a muscular lock that's technically 4 inches below my navel, but think about the area just below the navel. As you inhale deeply here, feeling your belly press against the ground, and then exhale completely, feeling the navel draw back towards the spine. Hold that area 4 inches or 4 finger widths below the navel. That's called Nabi Bandha. And now inhale as if you're inhaling through the back of the body and the sides of the body while still holding that abdominal lock. And exhale. Re-engage the abdominal lock if you released it for the exhale, which is fine. Inhale through the back and sides of the body. And exhale. Re-engage Nabi Bandha, the abdominal lock, 4 finger widths below the navel. So drawing that area back towards the spine. Inhale through the back and side body. And exhale when you're ready. We'll do that a few more times on our own. So it's a holding at the end of the exhale. Then inhaling through a different part of the body than what you're used to, or what I'm used to at least. Exhaling, re-engage that bandha, that lock. You can keep other blocks in the body loose as you do this. Try to isolate it just to Nabi Bandha. And then when you're ready, we're going to push on to all fours. Feel free to put a blanket under your knees, particularly if you're practicing on a cold stone basement floor. And it's not really that cold. I'm actually sweating. And from here, we'll inhale the right arm long in front of us. Left leg comes out. Very simple, but hold your balance for a second. Exhale, right hand comes back down on the right shoulder. Left knee comes back down on the left hip. Inhale, left arm out. Right leg out. Exhale, come back down, and we'll just continue. Inhaling long. Exhaling down. Inhaling long.
exhaling down. Just do a few more of these at your own pace. And last round. And when you feel cooked, feel free to come back to child's pose. So bringing the hips down to the heels, the crown or the forehead down to the mat, arms out in front of you. And just breathe here for a second, feeling your body press into your legs as you inhale. And then feeling your hips fall closer to your heels as you exhale. And when you're ready, you can push down on your hands, draw yourself back up towards seated. You can either stay seated here on your hips. That's totally fine. Well, on your heels like this, where your knees are bent, you're sitting on your feet. You can sit on a block like this. If you separate the feet a little bit, with a block between your legs, and then sit down on that. Or you can come into a more traditional, easy posture, or swastikasana, or anasana, whatever you like, whatever seated posture is most comfortable for you. From here, this practice will take a completely different lineage than the traditional Indus Valley lineage. We're going into Chinese practice now. So kind of more like Qigong, that type of thing. Just so that we can kind of sweep out the difference between the first half of this class and the second. Let's inhale the arms out wide and up for Prana Mudra. Exhale, pushing the hands down the body as if you're combing through any filaments of wild and crazy energy that you might have left. Inhaling the arms out wide and up again. And then exhaling, pushing back down. Hands can come to rest on your knees if you like, palm face down. So this first practice is an older practice from Wu shamanic traditions. It is called Yin Wei breathing. And it helps us to, first off, digest food that we haven't digested, but second off, to digest energy, emotions, feelings, trauma, experiences, sorrow, whatever we like that we haven't digested. It's a series of breaths that, how would I describe this? I'm going to inhale, and then as I exhale, I fold forward, and hands can come out in front of me. I don't need those yet. Hands come out in front of me as I fold forward, pushing the air out of me. Then I'm just going to inhale, coming back up to seated, and then exhale, doing the same thing. So I do that 7 times through my nose only. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, folding forward, inhaling through the nose, sitting back up, exhaling through the mouth, through the nose, folding forward, etc. So we do through the nose 7 times, then we exhale through the mouth 7 times, then we exhale through the nose and mouth 7 times, so one and then the other. And I'll talk you through all this. I know I'm overloading you right now. And at the end of the exhale on the 3rd round of this, we're sweeping out this area below the ribs. So let me show you up close. I'm sweeping out here. With the knife edge of my hand. So that's this edge. So I exhale, I sweep out. I'll go over this with you in a minute, but I figured just let you see the movement. If this is uncomfortable for you to sweep out below the ribs like this, you can just kind of open the belly like this. Both of these are perfectly appropriate movements. You could even do both of them. I probably will because they have different kind of responses in the body. But whatever feels best for you. So first we'll do our 7, at least 7. If you don't keep count, just enjoy the practice. We'll do our 7, inhaling through the nose,
Exhaling, folding forward. And as I said before,
Through the nose.
yes, through the nose. As I said before, take your time, be gentle with your body, and really just slow everything down as best you can here. In fact, if you find yourself getting chilly at any point, cover up with a blanket, that type of thing. So when you're ready, nice tall spine. Let's inhale through the nose, exhaling, folding forward, exhaling through the nose. When you're ready to inhale, inhale back up. Exhale, fold forward, exhaling through the nose. And continuing at your own pace, inhaling up. Exhale, fold forward. Take your time. Six.
7.
You're faster than me. So you just keep doing it. Next time you inhale your way back up to seated. And this time we're exhaling through the mouth. I'll show you real quick what I'm going to do with my mouth here. So as I exhale, I'm actually pursing my lips a little bit. I'm going to try to make the sound of a winter wind blowing. So exhaling like that. So feel free to give that a try. We'll do that 7 times now. So inhaling up, exhaling. Holding forward. Inhaling back up. Inhaling through the nose always and forever. Exhaling this time through the mouth.
Uh, 6 or something? Actually, I'm
As long as you've done at least 7, that's kind of what matters. So next time you inhale up, this time we're going to exhale first. Part of our exhale comes through the nose. The second half of the exhale comes through the mouth. So I'll show you real quick. I'm going to inhale up, exhale. And then at the end of my exhale, before I inhale, I'm going to sit back up and sweep. And then inhale. Do this at your own pace. If your breathing matches ours, great. If it doesn't, great. I don't even think we're matching each other, which is fine too. So when you're ready, inhaling up, exhaling forward through nose, then mouth. And then sitting up with no air in the belly, sweep out. Either high or low. And then inhale.
5 more. And when you're ready, just breathe naturally, taking a comfortable seated position, no more moving. When you're ready, and just be present in the quietude within your body and within your practice at this very quiet, dark, beautiful inward time of year. Focusing on the internal, the quality of your breathing, the quality of your heart rate. There is an ancient Taoist practice, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but we were taught to practice it at the solstice, besides the one that we just did. This one's not as old as that last practice, but the idea is we use sound to take ourselves inward, and it can be a sound that we make ourselves, that we feel the tissues of our body reverberating, which would be a humming noise similar to Brahmari breathing in Indian yoga. So to give you an example, Brahmari breathing is where you inhale and then you exhale and just hum, making a sound kind of like a buzzing bee. So I'll demonstrate real quick. Feel free to give that a try on your own. And as you practice, perhaps you notice a sense of vibration in the soft tissue of the body, in the skin, in the flesh, in the muscles, maybe in the chest, around the throat, maybe down the arms, maybe even down into your pelvic floor. We'll want to take that tone lower and lower. So feel free to continue Brahmari breathing at your own pace, where you inhale deeply and then exhale, making a humming sound. And just keep taking that humming sound lower and lower with each round of Brahmari breath. So with each round of your breath, just take it lower each time and see where your bottom is, where the bottom of your humming range is. So let's give that a try for a second. We want to take that sound deeper and deeper into a more guttural experience of the voice. So one thing that you can also experiment with is gently opening the lips just a little bit during the hum. I'll show you that real quick. And you can play with the placement of the tongue in the back of the mouth, possibly hearing microtones that are different from the humming noise you're making. This is also a very inward practice like pratyahara in traditional hatha yoga. So if you want to make it so that you just hear what's going on inside of your head, put your fingers around your nose, exhale, and then you have that sort of inner echo, that puffed out the inside of the ear experience. Try humming with that going on. So you might be hearing resonance within the body that way. We're going to continue humming like this for a minute, and then I'm going to add a sound to it. Hopefully that came through Zoom nicely. That is the sound. These are from deer. These are not people bones. But traditionally, this practice was done with people bones, where the practitioner will be in a subterranean, warm, cave-like environment. They would clack the bone or against wood or against enamel, but I think really bone sounds best. And the idea was that sound of the clacking bones is a sound that when you are in that deep inward meditative place, you feel it, or it can resonate within your bones. So not only are we using sound waves to vibrate the soft tissue of the body through humming, and guttural humming specifically, but also we are using an external sound, this clacking kind of sound, and letting it almost act as water dripping from a faucet to vibrate the insides of our bones, and again, subtly take that energy in and down. This practice was also accentuated by drinking warm water, preceded by taking one shot of a specific kind of plum wine, which is very warming and takes energy and in and down into the belly. For people that don't really drink much, you'll really feel that. But you can definitely do it with just the sound alone as something to help you enter into the quietude. So for the next couple minutes, we're just gonna do this humming practice. I will clack the bones for you and just see how that feels. We'll check in at the end. So when you're ready. If you need a break, feel free to sip a little warm water, ideally melted snow water, but city water is fine too. Refreshing the throat after all that humming. And you can continue this practice if you like. It was traditionally done for 2.5 days. We would do it once every 4 hours for like a half hour yesterday. So, what is it? It's probably about 8 o'clock now. So if you're still up at midnight and you wish to hum, that's a great idea. Otherwise, when you're ready, we'll bring ourselves down to the mat for Shavasana. If you have any questions about that practice and specifically how the palm line works its way in, feel free to talk with us about it after. In the meantime, just find your most comfortable rest, whatever that is. Maybe you need to put on some socks. Maybe you need to bundle up in some blankets. Maybe you need to take your glasses off and place them somewhere safe to the side where you know you're not going to step on them. Whatever it is, find your sense of rest and understand how wonderful it is to rest this time of year and not run around doing a million things at a time of year when the body just says sleep, rest, go inwards, coalesce, rejuvenate, regenerate, restore. when you're ready, if you're ready, feel free to bring some life back to the fingers and toes. Maybe rolling, maybe rolling the wrists and ankles a little bit. Stretching the arms together, reaching long above the head, stretching the legs together, stretching long.
My feet are getting attacked by this
Hopefully
cat.
not getting molested by a cat. When you're ready, roll off to one side or the other, resting in a fetal position for just a second. Honoring your body, honoring your practice. Even if your cat doesn't honor your body. And then when you're ready, we'll push ourselves back up to seated. Taking time to find a comfortable seat once again. Oh my God. And we'll do 2 more rounds of Prana Mudra to seal the practice. So when you're ready, inhaling the arms out wide and up. Exhaling, pushing down with the hand. Inhaling the arms out wide and up again. Exhaling, pushing down, maybe leaning back a little bit. This time, let's inhale the arms out wide and up. Exhale the hands into prayer right in front of your chest. And if you wish to join us in an Om, again, feeling the resonance of the quality of the Om within the body, allowing the sound that you're making to vibrate all the soft tissues and possibly the hard tissue of the body. Inhaling deeply. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Thank you for practicing with us today. Namaste. Happy solstice. Welcome to winter and all of its clear beauty. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in. And I think that this class will actually probably herald a bunch of sort of more restorative, but also core strengthening practices over the next few weeks. So feel free to join us for those.